On September 28th, Robert A. Siegel Auction Galleries will be offering the Vaquero collection of United States errors, freaks, and oddities. Now, many stamp collectors have heard this phrase, errors, freaks, and oddities, EFOs for short, but not many people understand just what these terms mean. And if you ask 10 different collectors the difference between an error and a freak, you might get 10 different answers. So today we're going to look at a couple of lots from the sale to break down what exactly an error, a freak, and an oddity actually are. Now let's start by talking about errors. Errors are major deviations from the intended design of a postage stamp. These are things that end up in catalogs because they are consistent and they are easily definable. A perfect example, this 1901 stamp from the Pan American exhibition where the ship is printed upside down in relation to the frame. Something more modern, 1969, the government wanted to honor the centennial of professional baseball, but as you can see, they did not print the black part of the stamp that says 6 cents professional baseball. So if you received this stamp, you wouldn't even know how much you could stick it on a letter for. So these are examples of errors. These are major things that are listed in the catalog that are easily recognizable. Now, freaks, on the other hand, are not something you'll see listed in a catalog because they are more minor varieties and they are not as consistent. For example, this 1861 1 cent, the paper was folded over before the stamp was perforated, resulting in some really crazy looking perforations. Likewise, 1972, the post office wanted to honor the hobby of stamp collecting. You can see that our nation's first stamp was supposed to be under the magnifying glass, but in this example, it is shifted down and to the right so as to be almost unrecognizable. So these are perfect examples of freaks. They don't rise to the level of an error, but they're still incredibly collectible. So that covers errors and freaks, but what about oddities? Well, oddities is a catch-all term for just about everything else that you can't find listed in a stamp catalog. So hopefully this quick little breakdown of errors, freaks, and oddities clarifies one of the most confusing phrases in all of philately.